I've been wanting to do this one for a little while now, ever since I watched Deadpool and Wolverine the other day. And I did the NSYNC Bye Bye video, which is available. A little bit different to our lesson today, but I've been really wanting to do ACDC's Hell's Bells. I mean, it's just absolute classic. I've got a big old bell on me today. But yeah, there's a few interesting lessons that we can learn from this, particularly with the opening riff. And the picking pattern, as ever, we're finding in this lesson series, is always key to making it a little bit easier to play. There's also the madness of the solo later on, which we'll tackle in this series, which goes kind of up here. So all still to come. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the lessons that we release. But let's get to it with acadc. Here we go. So the big bell is going to ring 4 times. I think ACDC actually paid about $1 million, pounds, not the same thing, but about $1 million to get this cast iron bell rung. And actually I saw them earlier this year, and the huge bell descended from the ceiling, so it was very fun. But anyway, right, let's tackle this opening riff then, because this is very difficult. We're going to spend a little bit of time with this one. So let's tackle this opening riff then. You've got a lot of ringing notes, so the A string is going to ring a lot. So try and not get in the way of that. And you're going to do a power chord on the E note on the 7th fret. Then first fingers on the 7th fret. And then you're going to move down. 5th fret. And then unusually, Angus Young does the 4th finger when those 2 notes come round again in the pattern. So once again, power chord. And then you've got this little change up. So that's all the chord shapes and movements that we need for this intro section here. Let's go through the picking pattern now, which is actually quite tough. I find it hard to get my head around it, but it really helps once you get the rocking motion in. So down on the open string, and then up, down on the next 2 notes. Nice ringing sounds. Then you've got up, up, down. And then you move, and then it's up, up, down again. And then up, up, down with the 4th finger. And then the repeated note is down, down. So here, up, up, down. Up, up, down again. And then up, up, down again. Then you repeat that opening note. Now when you get to this bit, that's power chord on the C, drop the first finger, and then back to the open note. And then you repeat that round 5 times before we carry on in the pattern. So let's just go through it together, rocking, and make sure you get the right hand picking pattern correct when we're going through this. So that comes round and round and round. Really try and let the A note ring for most of the riff. In fact, if you can do it all the way through, listen, it should be ringing really throughout. So that carries on 5 times, and then you'll see that the riff continues for a 6th time. Then you've got this G. So the G is the special ACDC G where you just put the 2nd finger down You can also make the upper part of the chord if you so choose. The first finger's not really involved. So down, up, and then sort of dead notes as you move. Land on the D. Then you've got this C shape. So instead of this, you do it in this pattern. Then we're about to hit verse 1 here, where it gets really interesting. So this is unusual. So we've just done a little turnaround section just before this. Gives us just enough time on the open note to jump up to the power chord that we've been using already. Except that the power chords now are using a different pattern, so it goes like this. Down, down, up on the picking, by the way, unusually. And then we go. So the way this works is you've got your power chords played with the bottom notes. Down, down, up. And then you do a D power chord, but it's 1, 4, and 4. And Angus Young does loads of vibrato on the second one and raises his hand in the air. So once you've got that down, try and raise your hand while you're doing the vibrato. That comes around a few times. We'll carry on from bar 15. Remember the up pick, because it gives it a certain feel. There's a palm muted version now, just for variety's sake. And then, so there's a little variation there with the rest. See, there's another variation again. Make sure you do that up pick on this little 5th fret here as well. And there's another variation, unbelievably, in bar 21. So with a little bit more muted notes, and then we've got this turnaround section here again. So we've got D chords, and the pattern is going to be down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, down. So that's all open strings once you land there. And then power chord, second finger on the G. Once again, you can make the whole shape if you want. Or you can just hit the bottom string and not bother with the top. I would suggest doing it with the full shape though, because that's what Angus Young does. So one more time. Quite hard actually. And then we're coming up to this E power chord again. And then it comes around to the chorus again, which we've done in part 1 of this video series. I'm just going to play it through though for you now, just so we cover the whole tab. You can do it with that power chord arrangement, or like we've done before. You land down there, then it's time for verse 2, which is very similar to verse 1, so I'll run you through that now. Then the turnaround comes again. You don't have to play the top string notes. I put it in brackets before because you don't really hear it, but just in case you want to play it. Same again. Then we're carrying on. Back to chorus 2, which we're just going to play through again because it's very similar. I've always found this solo a little bit tough to nail down because there's so much going on, and I've been watching videos of Angus Young play this and he doesn't ever quite do it the same as the album. Although if you watch the music video, there's actually a few clues as to how he tackles and approaches this. In the lead-in, that A power chord sort of rings underneath as you do your first and second fingers here with an up pick. So that's okay. Slide those first finger bar notes there. And then we've got third finger. So that's all okay with the hammer on there. And then we go to this double 5th fret. And there's a little pick scrape as the solo proper, I would say, begins. So you've got a hammer on here. And then you've got a slide. And then you reset with your third finger and bend. You can use your fingers instead. Or you can choose to use the plectrum. I actually prefer the plectrum, and I think I've seen Angus Young do it live with the plectrum, so let's stick with that, and that's how I've tabbed it out as well. So bend across, and then you stay bent. And then you do quite easy. Down, up, down, up, down. And this is where it gets really tough. So you're sliding up with your third and second fingers here. And then you get first fingers. And then a pre-slide. And then you do the same thing, a pre-slide. So 9th fret with your first finger. And then you slide to the 13th. There's two ways. You can either use your first finger, so you can go. Which sounds alright, but I don't think you ever really see Angus Young do it like that live, so it has to be that he's sliding his third and second fingers for real. So. Really, the answer is that if you want to play this super quickly live, and you don't want to play those specific notes, the best way to do it is just to go. And sort of approximate it. So that's what I'd recommend, but if you want the really specific ones, so there's a little mini disguised slide of those 13th frets repeat, so I'll tell you exactly where they are. So slide, up, That's what happens. Then you get to the next section of the solo here, so it goes like this. 2 dead notes, and then up picks, which is quite hard. Slide down and then back up again. Vibrato there, and then you come up to the 15th fret. And then you get hammer on, and then 16th fret, spicy. And then you come up, instead of going down here, you come up to here. And you can use the 3rd finger. And then that's how the rest of that solo goes. And we're back to chorus 3, which we're just going to run through because it's the same as our intro and the previous chorus sections that we've done. Getting the hang of it now after playing it so many times for this video. There's a slight change here as we go into the outro section. There's a little bit of a chord change up in the underneath section as this riff goes, before we hit the final outro section. So it's a couple of variations here. You go on the 15th fret, first of all, and then stretch up to the 17th. Vibrato, then 13th fret, then vibrato on the 15th. Same again, but then release. And then up pick. And then you get a real slide all the way down there from the 17th fret. And then you're ending on here. And then you've got this bend here. And then come up to the 8th fret with your first finger. And then you've got the same idea again. And then up to the 20th fret. So these notes again are 20th fret bend, down, pick, and then up. So bend it to the 20th full second time, but then vibrato on the second beat of that, so the delayed vibrato. Then you've got this. You can use a little 4th finger thrown in there if you can hack it. Use a 2nd finger though for this one. Second and 4th is easy to bend. For some reason in this situation the 2nd is very strong. And then you're going down, up, and then 3rd fingers across. And then the pick comes down sideways. And you press repeatedly high up on the neck. And then you just get... And that's it. That is Hell's Bells from acdc, with a very difficult and complex set of skills and techniques to use. Hopefully we've broken down a few of them for you. Angus Young is a big fan of using his 4th finger to bend when he's up high. So notes like this. If you can handle his technique, then please do. But I would suggest perhaps if you're less advanced or you have bigger hands, a 3rd finger might be easier. But anyway, I'll leave that one up to you, but just a note to say that that's his preference. Thanks for watching this series. Do subscribe, check out some of our performances, and we'll see you in a future video. And there's plenty more acdc on the channel. And finally, I can show you, to end, my big bell.